Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Toxic Boyo, and I was recently made aware of another edition in the Chronicles of Pokimane says slash does really stupid shit over and over again, and the world just kind of has to put up with it. I have avoided talking very much about Poki uh, on this channel so far because of the history she has of going after people. But I figure since I'm relatively small at the moment, I might be able to get away with it a bit better. And I want to take a short moment to talk about whether or not the video game industry or the esports industry, the world that centers around video games, is sexist or biased towards men rather than women, all that sort of thing. I just want to address things here and now, because that's what you need is a men's opinion on this whole situation. So Poki decided to say, a girl fucks up, what a fake bitch, such a worthless piece of shit, also go die in a hole. A guy fucks up, OMG King, don't worry, everyone makes mistakes, we know you have a good heart and we'll be here for you forever. And she goes on to say, it sucks because I can understand why. Guys have an easier time related to guys and girls to girls. So if a community is male dominated, there's bound to be biases. But I hope that in this day and age, we can learn to be both fair and empathetic with others, regardless of this. It's funny that she wants to say that the community is male dominated. There have been recent studies published. This is stuff you can look up. I might look it up and put it on screen for you. It depends on how I feel about it. It depends on how much work I want to do. But almost half of the gaming industry is females. Now, that's not to say that you have just as many women playing Rainbow Six Siege as you have men, but in general, if you factor in mobile games, all types of games, like The Sims in particular, women really gravitate towards The Sims. It seems like from my personal experience, there are nearly just as many women playing video games as men, and that does trickle down into shooting games, fighting games, action games, adventure games, RPGs, MMOs. So it's kind of interesting to say that the community is male dominated. And before you get in your head like, well, she didn't specifically say video game community, it's Poki. What other industry is she in? Now, I know that she recently partnered up with Markiplier and Jacksepticeye to be a co-president, I guess, of the Cloak brand, which I honestly never supported the Cloak brand because I felt like the way that it is counterintuitive, or not, I don't want to say hypocritical, but it's definitely counterintuitive and goes against the purpose that Mark consistently claims it was created for. The whole point is that the brand is supposed to hide in plain sight, but yet they're releasing these more ostentatious these ostentatious designs as time goes on, and it's like, oh, other clothes are too standoutish, and it's like, well, if you wear an Express shirt, it probably will stand out just as much as a Cloak shirt, or depending on what shirt you get, not at all, it might just have a logo. That's beside the point. That's why I personally never supported Cloak. I just couldn't vibe with the message. But Poki being attached to it honestly turns me off even more. If I were to ever consider buying a piece of Cloak material, merchandise, whatever you want to call it, I wouldn't, because she's attached to it and she will profit from the purchase. I dislike her that greatly. It's not because she's a woman. I really like I Heart Cupquake and Dodger and Michelle Morrow. It doesn't matter. I could list as many female entertainers that I watch as I possibly could muster, and if you believe me or not, that's up to you. Now, the gaming community has been fighting this type of stigma for a long time. For years and years and years, people have created these narratives that gamers are sexist and that we hate women and that we want them to go die in a hole. And anytime you're playing Fortnite online, if there's a girl in the lobby, everybody's going to tell her to get in the kitchen and make her a sandwich. Most of the time, if there's a girl on the server, it's like, hey, there's a girl. That's cool. She's playing our game. And then you move on. Most of the time, when you consider a game like Siege or GTA or Modern Warfare, most people aren't mic'd in because they just don't feel like going to that extra effort to communicate with these people, because in the case of Siege or Modern Warfare, it's like I'm either going to win or not, and I'm going to do my part regardless of whether or not these other people want to communicate. So, I don't even remember the name of that that initiative that came out. What was it? Troll Hunters, something like that? Not Troll Hunters. Might have been. I don't remember. But like they were supposed to be going after like toxic male gamers, and like I don't know if it was doxing them or just having a bunch of like people flock to the woman's defense in the case of like CS:GO, which people don't really play CS:GO as much anymore. That all that's tangential, but it sucks that a woman in the industry with as much clout as you could say, as Poki has, who has been around people like Swagger Souls, Fitz, Call Me Carson, would have like, up close and personal experiences with this sort of thing and still be this incorrect. Because as I mentioned, Fitz and Call Me Carson are in her circle of friends. And if you are familiar with that group of people, then you know about what happened between Fitz and Call Me Carson. People hated Fitz for a while after they found out what he did. She knows Mark and Felix. She knows Mark and Jacksepticeye. She probably, by proxy, also has some sort of passing knowledge of PewDiePie, of Felix. She might know him, I don't know. But Felix has screwed up many, many, many times. And the only people that support him are people that look past that because it's like, hey, I actually do know this person. I know who this person is, or I'm just entertained by the content or whatever. But every time he messes up, it makes literal public headlines. The Wall Street Journal came after him. And this particular campaign started in early 2017 and has still not died. There are people who still want PewDiePie crucified upside down for things from 3, almost 4 years ago. It's just, it's incorrect to say that the community protects men from their mistakes because you've seen firsthand that it isn't true. And the biggest male YouTuber in the world is living proof that people don't just blindly look past mistakes. He has had to apologize, own up to what he did. He has had to repair his relationship with his community to get to where he is. Felix did not just wake up and the controversy was gone. Notice Logan Paul did something that was far worse. Like his crime, as you could call it, actually did hurt someone. That whole Suicide Forest thing, him showing that person's body, was directly harmful to that person and to that person's family and anyone that could have known that person. Felix just made a really stupid joke and said something that he shouldn't have. Logan's YouTube Red movie, what was it? Not The Thinning. Was it The Thinning? I don't remember. He had some sort of movie. It was a sequel that was coming out, and it got canceled, but not really, because it came out anyway. And YouTube was like, well, we don't want to punish everybody for the mistakes of one person that was involved. Scare PewDiePie Season 2, 4 years off from when it was supposed to come out, still has not been released. And you could release Scare PewDiePie Season 2 for the same reason that you released Logan Paul's movie. There are people involved in the production of that show that did not make any mistakes, like Felix did, but still they're being punished for Felix's actions. So no, Poki, you're wrong. You are factually wrong. You don't just get away with it because you're a male. A lot of times people do get away with things that they shouldn't, like Logan Paul, because of, I don't know, brand deals, advertiser relationships. I honestly can't speak to why that happens. But there is bias in the YouTube community at large, but it's not for the reason that you think it is. And then Anissa, iDubbbz' girlfriend, went so far as to respond to this and say, I'm so sorry about some of these comments. I know it's infuriating. You made a very true statement, and it's probably just kids who reply like that. Anissa, I'm not going to get into why I don't like her, but as a lot of you guys know, she is iDubbbz' girlfriend, and she made an OnlyFans account not very long ago. And when people found out that Ian, iDubbbz, her boyfriend, was okay with it and supported it, all of Twitter and all of YouTube combined to bash this man. Calling him a simp, calling him a traitor, calling him a hypocrite, all these things for something that he didn't even do. Anissa made the decision to start an OnlyFans. Ian was okay with it, and he was the bad guy. And in a lot of people's eyes, he still hasn't recovered from that. I personally don't care. You know, it's his girlfriend, so whatever they do, however they feel about it, that's their business. It doesn't impact my life in the slightest. But Anissa is another person who has seen firsthand, because of her interpersonal relationships, how the internet responds when they think that a male content creator is in the wrong. He didn't even screw up at all. He didn't do anything wrong. And the internet still exploded at him. So no, Poki, no, Anissa, I don't want to hear any of this garbage anymore. We're tired of this. Just please stop being ignorant. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later.